Can you hear? Sanje Jedang Zoye Jonama Janje Bada Dai Sanje Dai Zoye Bezanam Andola Benje Sanje Nuba Jo Dongba Jing Ranjin Salawa Longjun Duje Ma Zun Zhuge La Changchun Paradon Jazun Je Namo Semjen damjen devana devin judan dembaran juraje donga dongaran judan dawaran juraje donga meben devana mendawaran juraje sada nyeren dan Nyan Jembola Nebai Joje. Hoi Kanyam Doa Maluba. Saje beje soje mendo dam ra len shi ni de yen ba de san ji yen do me de mo wa ye de ge nam da shin la je ba yo Omen Jujin Jebrane, Dozum Sanji Kunjung Oni, Ransom Chukung on Don Zebe, Zavelama Namla Gujan, Sal, Polden Zavelama, Ramboche, Taki Churube Mindem Chula, Katin Chembugone, Jason de Gozon to Jingo, Zando, So, Dazo Samjenta, Jeji, Ju Minjin, Rora Jinji, Love, Do, So. Samba Chanchup Chodo, Tukjedi, Sember Shoes.
Please arouse the altruistic motivation of bodhicitta, and in that spirit, please listen to the teachings.
Too late? Oh, before praying.
Oh, lasso.
Ini pray nala samdang ro. Malam sing. Yana to so ngowa kaps.
Lasso, ngowa kaps. Lasso.
아니 저지 전부 얘기지 봐. 치 제발라. 샘지 기사 제바, 샘지 자답 템바, 샘지 골사 제바, 샘지 람처 템바. 예베나네 샘지 기사 제바. 찬니 니바 샘지 자답 템바라.
So in this text, the profound instruction on the 4 syllables within the 4 sections of the text severing the basic root of mind, displaying the methods of resting the mind, slicing through potential errors in the mind, and explaining how to proceed on the path of mind. We've completed the first section on severing, and we're now entering the second section, displaying the methods of resting.
아니 당보대 랍 따와 또네 아니 졸와 탈침바 중알라 아니 곰바디 고요 마레스 다 대다고 마중베 강살라 아니 따와 땐라 팝사비 치수 곰바 냠스 간딜랭 거레세나 인디네 송도스.
So as was said yesterday, beings of the highest capacity will be liberated by the view, or by recognizing the view, and don't need to proceed along a path of habituation. But in case that doesn't happen, there's the path of the middling capacity beings, which does rely on meditation or habituation. So this then lays out that path.
이 곰바 kapsulaya 아니 따와디 아니 예주단 드라이브 따와 원도 땅세요래 따와 냠수 용투메래 따와 냠수 용네 졸려 말아 예주게 따와스
그래서
예주 이기치 예주게 예라 다 추담지 되니 란신지 예네 따봐 코르 전주 마고바 셈지 이자 아니 찌량 마주바 요메 다시지 탈렌데 봐 다들 내시제니 야 전 다디 예르샤비 땡네 되는 다 고바도 고요래 했어요.
제차 왕보등 마콘소 타완 무엇음도 토기 말해
따온 것은 따따와 테스트 세바래 마스바래 이나 돌려 말해.
그래서
돌 생인데 따와 떠거든 냠도 나와 따와도 you liberated already 상지 차르소.
그래서
근데 강사 가시면 되면도 와.
그래서
강사 망보지 공고로 와.
그래서
곰나양 따와 등건도 메나 가로 곰나 낭바 산제밖에 따와 차이가 말해. 가로 신내지 곰 되나 낭바 산제바 신내르에서는 말해. 그래서 하래 샤드는 낭바 산제밖에 아니 상동 레베스는 말해. 낭바 산제바 상동 엄마티 동반이기 때문에 또 그래. 동반이 때문에 또 그렇지 봐라. This whole one page on Tony.
lesson.
Don't share so. That shine tokrochebi tap de la ten tawa tona tolna great. Madonna at least you have to have tawang yiju tawa mundu go.
lesson. Nyungta yichi tawa go gres.
Yes.
Yile debe tawa yung sigre ni entendemendu yichi tawa yang sig.
Yile debe tawa yung sigre tawa is glimpse of Bibashana Ngoshana and the Toltu Mason. Yinaya, Sabading ya, the whole page thing is the Agore. The mena, Navasanji Gomchak Maris. Karo, Jugona, Gomsha, Sabameva Shelane. Yinaya, dancing in Yabuchagmidoa.
Lasso. Agaso. So the second section is still based on some kind of conviction or certainty, even if it's a conceptual view, even if it's even if the view's been resolved with the conceptual mind through investigating and analyzing, still there's some kind of certainty that's been arrived at. This is the way things are. The mind is rootless. Phenomena are empty. The natural state is beyond construct. Simplicity has no construct. Emptiness has no construct, and so forth. All of the meaning in this first section, at the least, through conceptual reasoning, some kind of certainty has been arrived at. And so I asked for clarification from Rinpoche if this meant that middling capacity beings don't have direct experience of emptiness. And he said it's possible that they do, but it's only a brief glimpse, and liberation hasn't happened. And so whether the view is...
In liberation,
it's possible that they have momentary experiences of liberating thoughts, but not the full liberation of enlightenment. And Rinpoche also said that the point is that whether the view is still conceptual or has gone beyond concepts, liberation hasn't happened. And so meditation is necessary. And then he said, for example, if that certainty is not arrived at through these reasonings, through that whole first page of statements, strong statements about emptiness, then it's not Buddhist vipassana. It's something else. Whatever meditation we think we're doing, without that certainty, could be shamatha, but it's not the true meaning of Buddhist shamatha that this is leading us towards. Or we could think it's some kind of view, it may be some kind of view, but it's not the view that is required to be considered Buddhist vipassana, because that requires some kind of conviction or certainty in emptiness. Only then does it qualify as Buddhist vipassana.
Whether you like it or not, I know many of you don't like. You like to practice based on reified eye and shamatha. And reified eye feel good, but sorry, reified eye also rootless, baseless. Then you practice, then it's become Buddhist shamatha. Not only that, if you practice visualization, tantric practice, the demarcation between Hindu tantric practice and Buddhist tantric practice, many things are shared, common. But what is Buddhist ki tantra kandichago yosana? Tongbanyi ki ngangle, tongbanyi ki dang mayo yoshindu, ane dang chalai kolo sharna, ane Buddhist tantra chagi yores. Tongni ki tu yime saralde mashishi shindu, ane dachi ngangla atma dauchi dachi ngane la karikomna ya, ane Buddhist mares yorda.
Hindu Tantra Chagini.
Buddhist Tantra Chagini mares.
That's so.
Doubt open mongboy almost like 80% is similar. Ina only Buddhist cha machate yime saral tongni ki tu sharabji paru chimba ngangne, ane jering bu flan nawa damchi nangdong rangshi sharna, then Buddhist chagres. De mayimba ki denzin tramu atma jing ngangne la sharna, ane dendrugu ngangne la shargres. The Buddhist Tantra Chagini mares.
That's so. So, for example, if we consider the difference between Hindu Tantra and Buddhist Tantra, or just Buddhist Tantra and other forms, really what distinguishes it is the Buddhist Tantra requires the view of emptiness to be at the root of the practice. The view that is not sort of a permanent soul, of a permanent self, a permanent being, and so on. And so based on the understanding, based on the view of emptiness, then the methods, the visualizations can appear, and then it qualifies as Buddhist Tantra. Then we can generate the form of the deity appears as an empty appearance, and the experiencer is an empty experiencer, and so forth. Everything unfolds based on that view. That is alone is what is considered to be a Buddhist Tantra. But if there's some other kind of view underneath there, some kind of Atma, some kind of subtle reification is in our view, basically the foundation of our view. And then we use those same methods based on that view of a permanent soul or Atma, some kind of subtle reification. We might carry out the same visualizations, the same deities and so on, but it's not Buddhist Tantra. Something else.
80% Kundalini, Tummo, Chandalika, Chikpachikpare, Koloshi, Pumbukam Tupdanchikbara, Saral Bore Tupdanchikbara, Hindu Saral Bore. If Hindu knows Saral Bore, then same Saral Bore. If Buddhist Tantra knows same Saral Bore, same Saral Bore. Then Buddhist knows Prana Bindu Nadi, if they know well, then it's the same one. If Hindu know well, and the same one. That is inayang that is tartuki chog tomo senga dan tezo kanga rodang te tonigi zidam mandawa chegore sen. Tap the daughter among your
Tap ti daw yeah. Shut up then keep.
Shirab Sanada Tartuk Yeme Sadalti.
So for example, the method side though might be at least 80% the same. From the method side, it's almost the same really. So if we take Tibetan Tummo practice and Hindu Chandali practice, they're basically the same methods, the same visualization, the same chakras, the same channels, the same heat, everything's the same. The methods
hopefully they know both. They know both subtle body, so they come down in one place.
If a tradition knows the subtle body, they know the subtle body. It's a common human component of our experience. But the difference comes with the ultimate tummo, so to speak, the ultimate view that it leads toward and reaches. If it leads towards something that's rootless, that's groundless, the view of emptiness, then it's a Buddhist practice. And if it leads to some other view, it's something else.
The Buddhist Yapore, Hindu Tujare, Hindu Yapore, Buddhist Sagomare. This capsula, Buddhist Shayore, so Buddhist view then the.
And this is not at all to say that Buddhism's great and Hinduism's lesser than, or Hinduism's great and Buddhist is lesser than. Not at all. It's just that this happens to be a Buddhist teaching, so Buddhist view will be taught here.
Su Dhamma Yemeta, Lam Gom the Tire, into Dhammayana, Buddhist Dhammayana, Sangju de Hagura.
Which view is ultimately true? We have to see, you know. We have to practice the paths all the way to the end. Only the Buddha really knows who's right.
Sangju, enlightened China.
When we become
Hindu
Buddha.
enlightened China, or Buddhist enlightened China. Oh, Buddhist was right. That means Hindu also right because he got enlightened. So, the Buddhist karitagi yorasana, ani mikte loji yona, tentila, ani zimba shugres. The zimba shuzatana mebache, ani choji guyore, segorta. Zimba shuza mebigi. Tony denjung to shar. Denjung go, Tony to yimba. The tendeki tonchita, tatela pavira. Dendu, Deshinbu, singing the Pug Lamas of Petagre. Deshinbu, Hindu Dawshing among Buri, Tapa, what the Deshinbu Tenta, then Masabajan touch up the Deshinbu Tapa Shadu to land the Massis of Bajang among you. That's all till 2 years, only you medal.
So basically, what the Buddhists are afraid of is this reference point. Because if there's a reference point in the conceptual mind, then that's a point where grasping and fixation can enter, can happen. So that's what the Buddhists are so afraid of. And what we're looking for is...
Especially in Nagarjuna. I think he has some banana from Hindu. Atma banana, I think.
We're looking for a mind or an aspect of the mind that has no fixation, that has no reference point. And in that, emptiness dawns as interdependent origination. Interdependent origination reveals its essence as emptiness. And so that's the view that the Buddhists are looking for. And this topic has been fiercely debated in Tibetan history, this topic of Buddha nature. It's like a incredibly contentious issue in Tibetan history. And they're really, it's really delicate because a lot of the teachings on Buddha nature kind of sound Hindu, permanent, and so on. And so a lot of Tibetan lamas tread very lightly on this topic, and they've been fiercely debating it for a very long time. It's one of the most contentious issues in Buddhist theology.
Anyway. I will no more speak about that. Niba semji yaktab tembanis theater tok bitengdu sekdo ngar ongborap tawa tokpa teni 이juk tokpa inare ngonsum ki thamo nyona ye teni sem ditengdu ne matupar kapsula ne bitabla tugyo des.
So the section 2, displaying the methods of resting the mind. It may be that the mind cannot remain in the realization described above. And so this means the full liberation hasn't happened, either because we still have a conceptual view, or even if we've glimpsed beyond the conceptual mind, that glimpse has not given stability and full liberation. So in either case, liberation hasn't happened yet. And therefore, it says there are 6 methods of resting the mind.
Now I remember why I choose this text. Together with Adam, kayansanan dig nangla ani nyamlin chunyu ende je ende maje box mangudo.
Naso.
The kind of chores, and the mangbu yongure, and the shungi the choose sares.
This text contains many boxes or sort of aspects of don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, do that, and so on. So there's a lot of distinctions in it, and that's why I chose the text.
And many people ask me what to do, how long, what time, when, how. Mangbuji like doa. I said, do natural mind all the time. Before breakfast, after breakfast, before sleep, after sleep, about to sleep. How to eat, eating time, what to do, all of this here. So you follow this.
So then how do we practice? Well, there's 6 ways to practice.
Namnang chudun chela chungjin nangpa dingwa shindu maju nyungme ngala zolru mebar shas
So then the methods are engaged while the body is composed in the 7-point posture of Varachana. The first is like a great Garuda gliding in the sky, resting uncontrived in the natural state, effortlessly and without making anything happen.
Tadi lu.
Lu.
Lu namnang chudun chela kandi chegorusna chunjin nangpa dengwa shindu maju nyungme ngala zolmeto zolru mebar shas.
Naso. Nyamdu drogodo?
Nyamdu.
Laso. So this first one is
nonna nordu labsha kayamare.
La.
Chara nonna nordu labna tigre.
Laso.
Kejur.
Laso.
Triyate.
Ngama laso.
Da.
Ngama ngasoti tabi kapsuani chasana kyapkiresa.
Kandi.
Ti tenzoki shaktab chasani nanan chudun kin nangla shakuresa.
De lu namnang chudun chela tani chunjin nangpa shingwa jamaji.
Laso. Chasan pechi dangmula kokores.
Jamzul labdan trawa shindu.
Laso.
Yongul mebar sha. Ta kangal kona teta tisate ina.
Yamena.
Jamzul labdan trawa shindu yongul mebar sha. Nyamatana trawa. Namasha bojong laga trawa shindu saja mangwa masha. Cholo no tamye san shimura nangwa. Ta kanji lu de resa ta kangal kona teta tisate.
Laso.
Shashana tisate.
Laso. Ini adi pe dangbo so lula.
The pe dangbo so lula. Lu all the way. Dugudwa.
Laso.
All the way. last part. Chukala lugi de chachabu yorwa.
Lasso. We're just discussing the body, and Rinpoche said the body needs to be included in all of these 6 methods of resting. All of them need to touch the body or go through the body. The body's not left out in any of these 6.
Yeah. Tani de lubu ande rangba namnang chudun chen de shinta ane ma chu nyung me ngala zolru me brashas pena chung le pesha wara chung nangpa le dingna ane dingwa shin de lange lubu ande pa nge wa da chu tempa da kupta sakal ma sharan shara nangwal de tu maro jab nge pa da ma nye de wa da ma yim ba che ko jan nangwal pro na shi jinta nangwal ko tenda yo maro 지나시 고 루고 남남 쇼든지 당에 중토는 쇼든지 다들 깔까 그래 인질 백 깔까 그래 인질 라바랑 부도
라레
포파 라바 통도라 배 답대 그래 인질 라바 배 마서를 부도 자부니 숨 지샤 되는 가게 엔데 깔까 그러죠
됐어 So the first example is a great Garuda gliding in the sky. So sort of the way we hold the body, you know, the 7-point posture of Vairocana has an uprightness to it. Of course, if you're in the sky, you don't really have a place to sit on, but you're not, leaning one way or kind of crumpled another way. The main point of the 7-point posture is a certain straightness. So the example is a bird in the sky soaring, but of course the bird isn't leaning on anything. But if we can do the full 7-point posture and so on, that's great. But Rinpoche said us Westerners have super long arms, so it's not comfortable. Tibetans have short little arms, so they can easily do it. But we would need 2 or 3 large cushions to be able to straighten our arms out with our unnaturally long arms.
Paje jagal tata insa jaga khorang lagba yan dang zubuni gar cel ten pe lelaw yasa theng jagar mila. I think it's measured for jagar.
Perhaps this posture is ideal for Indian people, because the ratio of their arms to their body length is just right to do this, really comfortably. So I think it works best for Indians.
Tibetan is so easy, very short. For me, very easy. My arm is quite short. This is quite long. 아니 벽에 남남 주든지도 아들은 미소네 내면아 맨날 되그래스. 삼된 벌중생 저래. 된 준주가 이 지지 담지. 가스
네.
제중대가 and 지점 숨점
So
maybe 4 inch or 3 inch.
okay.
되게 세직 급접샤나 디그레스. 이래 토할 마샤스라고 그래. For Tibetan 지자다 용마라.
So
메나 야그레스. 오나 대가서 샤스.
So in the Tibetan perspective on the 7-point posture, for example, according to Adi Rinpoche, was ideally we don't need a cushion, but if you
what do you call cushion? Of course, zapu, extra.
Sorry, extra zafu on top of the cushion. But if we do use it, then maybe 3 or 4 inches high, sort of ideal. It's difficult for Westerners, but not to be extremely high. It's his perspective.
But with no choice then. 나만 주든선데 디자도 수공 아니 락 잘자죠. nem 아니 봉바 파장. 근데 레라오요 말에 깔카오래.
7-point posture is to close the channel on the ring finger with the thumb. and then to have the hands
디디기
face up
락잘 짜죠레스레
on
락잘
the. There's a channel in the thigh that it presses down on,
님 디파장
and you straighten out the arms.
디파체
And the shoulders are open.
다데 마존에 디정지레스
And if that's not comfortable, you can just put your hands on your knees.
아니 중진 낭바 신도 솔주 메버샤스 다 중근 낭발은 솔주 제기하면 가지 하고 말아 중근 낭발은 솔주 제기하면 가서 하고 말아
Ini am penang.
배낭은 솔주 메바다 저기 내라고 해서래 돼 매매 롱요나 내라고 매 여러 롱면은 솔주 여러 다 하모 자 가시 낭만인데 내기도
Ori.
때때 이러신
Uh-huh.
쇼고셔라 막은
That's all. So then the example is to be effortless without making anything happen, resting uncontrived in the natural state. So we actually don't know what it's like to be a bird in the sky, whether it's effortless or not. But it looks that way, kind of, especially if there's good wind and they're just kind of gliding. Doesn't look like they're flapping too hard. If there's no wind, maybe it's not that effortless to be a bird.
다 솔주 메버샤 생도 가르 솔주 메버샤 생에서는 this is also important 류 락바트 솔로 요래 남남치도 좀 빼면서 솔로 쳐 보여 이나야 살을 버려도 콜로 솔주 메버샤 그래 서요 I think
The important part is in this 7-point posture, there's a lot of sensation happening in the body. It's a difficult posture with a lot of pressure.
솔주 요래
There's a lot of effort, but within but it's at the physical level, and then within that, the subtle body should be totally loose and effortless.
this is very interesting 요래 루부트 뺀 나기로 빼난빼 이나 되는데는 랑 샘기야 샘데다 살을 버니 쪼르베 벌로데 샤나 루부 락바디 나데와라 아니 루 타와당 샘데 쪼르메바 랑바 샤투고레
This is a very interesting point. The physical body can be in a lot of pain, actually. A lot of pressure, pain, discomfort, but at the same time, the subtle body doesn't have to be in any kind of contortion or discomfort. It can be loose, relaxed, and effortless at the same time. So that's very interesting.
데르치기 이해와 쩌톱나 되게 최신 망고질을 릭 레투 그래 릭 레사고 내가
Correct. Chishanagi rik dretu.
다 샤바갑슬 오 당에 르락 버려도 오사를 버려도 선데 이해와 쩌톱 차기래 내가 릭 레사고
Nawe kapsu.
나웨 갑슬에 시웨 갑슬에 아니 사를 버려고 크레지 갑슬에 망부 갑슬 다 등에 르락바 루타와 데코 드라마 텐트 그러와
If we're able to make that distinction between the physical body and the subtle body that's just been described, this can affect many other elements of our life and practice. Because there's many other situations then that distinction is beneficial, like when we're sick, like when we're dying, like when our subtle body's gone crazy. So that becomes very helpful.
나타과 라디오레 전수파지 고유주레 르락바게 코로나 신직 살롱기 란신직 cognitive 셈기 란신직 대숨 다단냠도 좀니 내가 지요레 이나양 코로나 자와카카레스 근데 숨기 예와데 랑기 셈톤 하거나 펜더 전부여서 나라운데 펜더 전부도
So, this is something that I've spoken about many times before, about how there's really 3 components. There's the coarse physical body, there's the subtle body with its channels and energies, and then there's the mind, the cognizance or conceptual mind.
And then somewhere emotion also connected. Yeah. 그래서 탐지 예와냐고 하거나 되니 빼 펜더 전부여래. 찍찍을 도와줘도 그래. 야, 루브다요나 아니 이모션다 사르보레다 셈숨기 루브 나와라 셈소 당초 그래. 셈소.
And so often these sort of work together, of course, but to be able to distinguish them is very beneficial. It's very beneficial to be able to understand that they have separate natures and to be able to distinguish them in experience. So for example, if the body is ill or sick or disturbed, still the subtle body and the mind can,
emotion also.
an emotion can not necessarily be sucked into or lumped into that sickness. There's a distinction that can happen. And then,
because this text has a lot of number, so I can give more numbers. Subtle body, gross body, subtle body, emotion, cognition, and fixation from I. 그래서 강가 찍 말아와. 그런 예와디하고 쉬어나. 근데 찍질 펜도 첨부 요라.
These are not all the same. If we can distinguish them and sort of separate them out in distinction, in experience, there's a lot of benefits that come from that.
당내대 망굴라이 이네 미망고 대예와치야라 시라 가우지게면나 maybe culture나 가르나시라 하고면도 이거 째고 된거도 무슨 째be 값을라 시라 저바 맞아봐도 나서 가랑 거 삼발.
I've spoken about this many times, but I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing, but modern folk don't seem to be that keen on actually distinguishing them. Maybe mentally it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but then when it comes to raw experience and direct experience, somehow it doesn't seem that we're doing all that much distinguishing.
Or maybe unable to do it, or not interested, or some banana is blocking. I don't know. Something there, a little gray, black. Intuition. Oh yeah. Oh, this is physical. Yeah. This is subtle body. Oh, this is emotion. Oh, this is mind. You know, we have now mix things together. Oh, this is a natural mind within that essence of everything. Essence of natural mind from the physical body. Natural mind, we call mind, but the ultimate understanding of look 동신 다음에 봐. 서로가 내룩 동신 다음에 사를 버리게 내룩 동신 다음에 봐. emotion게 내룩 동신 다음에 봐. cognitive 셈 남도 내룩 동신 다음에 봐. 그들이 하거나 했더니 it's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
It's distinguishing these things in experience. Oh, this is the element of.
Maybe some language is lacking somewhere. I don't know. It's your problem.
This is the
some area is really not getting because of flame of language, taste of language. Or that concept not exists in the culture. Oh, I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah.
We just don't have a concept.
So make it new concept. Make a new concept with me, please. And together. Yeah.
So it's like this is the physicality, this is cognitive element, this is the aspect of subtle body, this is the aspect of reification. Oh, this is the nature of everything. Being able to parse those out and identify them, separate them in experience is so beneficial. So like the nature of the body, is empty and selfless. The nature of feelings or sensations is empty and selfless. The nature of the subtle body is empty and selfless. The nature of emotion is empty and selfless. The nature of cognitive mind and thoughts is empty and selfless.
Nature of selfless is selfless. Oh, then you start to dance. relative 코롱코롱인 랑신 찍하고 relative 탐지기 랑신 찍하고.
One understanding is the relative nature of each of the different aspects of our relative experience. And another understanding is the nature of all of that, the nature of everything.
Okay, repeat this 2 times because it's not in the culture.
One understanding is the relative nature of each aspect of our experience. And another understanding is the nature of all of those, of everything.
Underlying nature of all of those. One more time.
One aspect of understanding.
I'm making culture. It's okay.
One aspect of understanding is the relative nature of each aspect of our experience, our being. And another understanding is the underlying nature of all of them, of everything.
The emptiness rate.
And that's emptiness.
Okay. 다 디기 제마데 잠소 랍단 탈바신도 용굴 메브라샤스 다티 녀갈 고초그레 달루 포스처 요요바레 데땡도 아니 왕보다 셈녀갈 거는 되고서래 왕보대고 랍단 저지 미기 왕보 나이 왕보라서 와탐지 요굴 메바 당 아니 셈 코라야 요굴 메바 루양 요굴 메바 룽아 루셈 왕보 강갈 거는 되서래 르당 왕보당 셈 탐젤라 연구해봐 시작으로.
The second example is like an ocean free of waves, resting without moving or wavering. So this one also can be understood with regard to the body, the posture, and it can also be understood with regard to the senses and the mind. So we can really regard this element of being unmoving or unwavering, like an ocean free of waves, with regard to the body, the senses, and the mind.
Then somebody niman tinna talwashindo sandangdang dembrashas tatoti semasung yosares.
The next lesson. The next one is like the sun unobscured by clouds, resting within all illuminating radiance. So this one primarily refers to the mind, how to rest the mind.
다들라 고안이네 요래 아니 점바 메비캅 점바 메비캅 살당다 덴바샤야지다 점바 연아양 살당다 덴바샤야지 녀갈 고그레스.
And there's 2 meanings of this. One is the occasions where there really are no clouds in front of the sun, and in that situation we rest with this all-illuminating radiance. And then another occasion is there are clouds in front of the sun, but even then we also rest with an all-illuminating radiance. So it has both meanings.
Sunday report badal ayengo da seminelo traseyore.
And the sun is a metaphor for the underlying nature of mind.
점바 생인데 녀몽 남도 다 세민elo 마임비 쳐 가르잖아요.
And the clouds
나와
the clouds are a metaphor for emotions, thoughts, and perceptions that are not the essential nature of mind. I've said a lot about this in the past, so I think you probably understood this point.
좀 나고는데 upside down 제 가르치다 갑솔라 아니 참반나 피버용 된데 갑솔라 다치 템바레 이나 샘고 모코랑 당살레 지요나 두요레스.
So if our eyes are closed, we're sunken into dullness, we're upside down, we have a cold, we have a fever, whatever clouds are present, we can still recognize the underlying radiance and openness of the mind within those.
남도 하고 우도아. 남도 프로듀 하고 우도아. When we fly, 남도 하고 우도아. cloud. 살당. 그래도 이제 니마 거랑 그런 cloud 요나 코샤르더라. cloud 메나 샤르더라.
This is something we can confirm by boarding an airplane. Once we get up high enough above the cloud cover, we realize, oh, even when there's clouds, the sun is shining. And when there's no clouds, the sun is also shining.
다들 남저를 발라 갈침부래. 이게만 지나라 디송이래. 남도 maybe 고갑대마 송도와. 정말 maybe 고갑대. For me 하고 해지도 렐라와 인사래. But also 미산진 차스그래. 좀 빠산 맹이지 르버지고 전에는 저한테 영화 갈카오로.
This is an extremely important point for yogis to understand. And in the texts, they often refer to the occasion where there's no clouds, where there's no thoughts occurring, because this is perhaps an easier situation to recognize Rigpa. And so it's often emphasized in the texts. But there's a danger in that. There's a possible misunderstanding in that as well.
If you go, I don't know, if you go into your closet and practice there for a while, closet, hopefully your closet has two doors. The bathroom door somewhere, and then block all the door and sit there. Hope you have a air ventilation. Then see. Salsa ga, make salsa ga sara. Make salsa, make dulki wek salsa de ga sara. Ta, ani rigba salsa duwe me ta kore.
So if we block the sensory clarity of the quality of vision, if we block the clarity that we're getting reflected into our eyes by engaging with visual objects, if that's totally blocked, can we still find the clarity or radiance of Rigpa in the mind? I've spoken about this many times in teachings on distinguishing, so I think you've all understood this point. If I say it again, it won't be a nice thing to hear.
We make big deal out of that one time. So, if you're not, then you can go into www. What's that one? Pundarika.org. Oh, that's better. Puchung lagan tawa shindu salcha mangala zimba barsha. Each word is so important. Se koranta shira naya nyamlonga jicharondu tatensu pe masi sa shimorodo. Pe de puchung lagan tawa shindu. Ani dendi salcha mangala inan zimba barsha.
The next one says, like a small child gazing at a temple, resting with unobstructed clarity and without fixation. So the words, of course, are okay, but what the experience that this is pointing to is so precious and important to be the meaning of this example, to have clarity be unblocked or unobstructed and yet without fixation.
If I ask to you, what it means, fixation here? You ask also a question.
What do you think it means here to say without fixation? She's asking you. Experientially. When you're meditating, How do you understand this in your experience of your practice, to have unobstructed clarity without fixation?
Knowing is fixation or not? What is fixation then? Hmm?
Reference point. Or clinging.
Huh? Means, I know the word clinging. Means how you cling. Oh, there's a kawa, there's a pillar, is already fixation? Or is annoying? So where is the distinguish between pillar and the fixation on pillar? Knowing pillar and fixating on the pillar. What's the difference? There's an emotion. Like, dislike is emotion. I'm not asking about emotion, I'm asking about fixation. Are you saying?
Subject on.
How? Pillar, or making pillar solid? Mere pillar. How?
Reifying.
Oh, so mere pillar. Huh?
Seeing something and letting go.
That is fixation, no?
My pillar. My.
So, I think fixation, the word is are you okay? You want to go like that, or you want to go like nice, superficial way? Done. Little bit tuning is okay? Yeah. So let me know. So it's little tuning in this take. Or you want to go nice, la 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 la. Up to you. Or you want to dig a little bit the wound and clean. When you dig the wound, there's a pain, but healthier. Or just put one injection, no pain, but after a few years, need to cut. So, how you relate with the child watching temple?
Has the eyes totally open.
Yeah. Okay, so no fixation, yeah? But no recognition. Example cannot be full. Example, one part is good enough, then good enough. Don't make every example fixed together. Then it's a reifying. What he says is a little bit like that. So, yeah.
Like and dislike just naturally happens. Like if we're in this tent, if I'm looking at it, there's a part of me
Sorry. Yeah, if you want to speak more than one sentence, hold the mic.
I was just thinking that, like and dislike just happen because of our habitual patterns. So if I'm in this tent, the part of me just likes it. And if I'm in a prison or something downtown Denver, part of me doesn't like it. I think the key is, are you going to buy into the like and to the dislike? There's some part of you that can stay neutral about that.
So then no fixation.
So then there wouldn't be a fixation. But you can't help your habitual patterns. They just happen.
Yeah. Yes. Quite good. I'm not going to challenge her. Because she makes my schedule. And she book all my hotels. She might book very lousy one. Esteban is correct?
I have no direct comment at this time.
You're very wise like Buddha. as the need of it.
Lasso.
Zimba sector tanga su peg lusul zimba sector internal fixation kare mangudo kare grasping, fixation,
clinging,
attachment
attachment,
mare
attachment, chakpa, zimba. Double.
concept mare concept lore
Chakpa dan zimba, chikpa yena?
chakwanana zimba yoro
Chakpa nang dan zimba do.
zimba the behind the oreta tamje zimba shara ngongi mare
Lasso. Chakpa le zimba trawa.
chakba len zimba tawa yeah
Inji ke nang na denje ki yawa
yo mare
Yo
fixation la de inji gross da gudwa
Lasso. Des gross, right?
chilapta
She was just discussing the meaning of the word zimpa in Tibetan, which is translated here as fixation. So it's sort of like sometimes clinging, fixation, grasping. And then I asked him the difference between attachment and grasping, or the Tibetan words. He said actually, fixation is more subtle than attachment. Fixation's automatically in attachment, but it's more subtle.
the fixation kangal yore ndo ja shidang temo ngajal fixation je maje tresala wana shi dewa kibu the fixation je maje majena kajgar jena kajgaro
So
bena
the element of fixation or dzimpa is present in all the other klesha. It's present in desire, it's present in aversion, it's present in jealousy, pride, and so on. And in experience, as Tressa said, with pleasant experience, there can be fixation or there may not be fixation. If there's no fixation, it's possible. With pleasant experience, that's one situation. And another situation is having pleasant experience with fixation. These are two different things.
da dogi kapshena ani dowa
That's all.
do da nga ni nang dogi kapsula
That's all.
라바도 대화요나 대화 셔바다 파셔바 용그레 세거다 대화당 대화라 즈비 즈바니 예와샤라 제기요 말에
That's all. Miksegi. Tegmengiluk. Miksegi tegmengiluk.
안테맹 룰라 대화당 대화요나 다 대화빵 그레스 셔바빵 즈바빵은 대화 코랑 방샤 그러마도 대화샤 즈바 잘생인데 기저샤라 시고 말에 라바도 나나라 안티 담지 데데도 가래나 코랑 샤 즈바데 요고 말에스 나나라 가도연 생만 즈바요 즈바 샤고레스 가도요 라기 말에 즈바탄다 즈발 망보라 덴진 중진 닌진 즈바 방보지 티 담지 방고레스 그래
That's all. In the sutra system, especially we can say Shravakayana or Hinayana, they don't make a strong distinction, for example, between pleasure and grasping. They sort of lop it together, and therefore we avoid pleasure because grasping comes so strongly and almost automatically with pleasure or towards pleasure that they just say avoid the pleasure and therefore avoid the grasping. That's the sutra, sort of general sutra approach. But in Vajrayana, there's a different approach. They say, no, you leave the raw experience, whether it's pleasure or pain or any other flavor of experience, and you extract the element of fixation from it. That's the part that needs to be removed, is the fixation, not the raw experience of pleasure or pain or anything else. But never in the Vajrayana system do they say, just leave the fixation. It's fine. That always needs to be removed or purified. And there's many types of fixation. there's reification, there's like dualistic structuring to kind of fixation. There's subject-object, there's many kinds of fixation, and all of them need to be purified, even in the Vajrayana system.
ngarang samatana ani zamba me samje yongsigre tawa menaya ina zamba tartuba mebade chagyos mare zamba ngone mebashana tin yana ingnala dedo gore yana tongba nyingala ko dinala shan teso mebajangala shashana tini karishana zamba meba chagdo temado shine teme dawjangala shashana tini zamba tawo jitarong dede yore teyendo tin tokpate jul maje batula zamba te
It's my opinion that there are situations or moments without sort of grasping or fixation that can happen with or without the view, even without the view. But ultimately, to really purify fixation, to really have what it ultimately means to be without fixation, we need to have the view. There needs to be a recognition. Apart from resting in the openness of basic space, I don't really think it's possible to experience the full meaning of non-fixation. So for example, in a state of shamatha without support might have a sort of temporary absence of grasping, but until we actually have recognition or realization of the view, can we really be without fixation all the way?
That jiang mayin ba second comfortable chagodo. Then jiang sharwade joljuro. Jiang mayin. Jiang mayin second ko jime zadal ko ngo ko tongba ing total ngala comfortable chana. Then total tempo chana. Then it salcha karishana zamba ba chagyo. So total tempo mena salcha re chaund dil zamba shugdo.
So actually what we're aiming for is to become comfortable or at rest, at ease, in simplicity, in being beyond reference point, beyond construct, in that openness or clarity, that openness or basic space of the natural state. Finding ease and becoming comfortable with resting in that. And then appearances can appear without fixation. But without that clarity of the view, without the rootlessness of cutting through to the view, then when appearances happen, there will always be some kind of subtle fixation that will happen along with them.
Because fixation like to hold on something. Like to be with something. Understand? So when you become comfortable with non-being, not being with something, which is openness, emptiness, in the experience of simplicity, and that is your home, and whatever comes can be liberated. Otherwise, fixation is trying to find home, so jumping into different things. This is me, that's. Then di Jesu chu lapshin chungsur tamji semsu shebar chala shas.
And the next one, like ripples on a river, resting with the understanding that all perceptions and feelings are mind. I've also said a lot on this.
Ahead of time.
Like a bird flying in the sky, resting without leaving a trace. Also said a lot about that.
Then Tijitu, Trubundilla Rimji, Sabla, Nishi Kangjela Yun Sing.
At the time of instruction, train in these 6 methods one by one until confidence arises. Then extend the duration.
Tunzi Kamdanjani Gomos, Tugi Sede, Mekaji Chuzuchi Kajini, Kaji Dabra Tentanijan Goms.
Then it says train in sessions the length according to your constitution. So we all have different constitutions. So some of us, it's most beneficial to do an hour at a time, some 2 hours, some 3 hours, and so on.
Wangbuding Gombe Torwas.
By meditating, those of middling capacity will be liberated.
Tatim Gomje Mangchitire, Jan Sabadu Mare. Jaga Gomje Mangche, the Gomni Tolgermado, Tawa Topazam Jutonge Kalakores.
So this is actually the way that most meditators are liberated.
99% something.
So you don't have to feel bad. This is how the vast majority of practitioners in history have been liberated, by meditating.
Okay, we'll stop here. And some questions? Here. Here. Then next to you. Do it. Yeah.
Rinpoche,
Yeah.
in the example of the temple, I don't think this is it on.
Yes.
In the example of the temple,
I have same problem all the time. Now you know my suffering, yeah?
Yeah, I
You don't hear so well yourself.
do.
You have to trust.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
that's okay. You know, when a small child gazes at a temple, like as an adult, we tend to see the whole temple. But in this example, I'm thinking like when a child goes into the temple, the attention flickers from here to there and everywhere, but they don't get lost. Is that what this example means?
They don't get lost means? They're lost.
So let's say I look at the Tanka.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot going on in the Tanka. You know, besides the Buddha, there's the bowl, there's the eyes, there's the eyebrows, there's the clothes, but it's still not lost.
Not lost, no?
You know, like,
Can you ask one more question? Both of us didn't understand.
so let's say it's the Taj Mahal. You know, it's a huge temple.
So romantic.
Yeah.
Taj Mahal tells me romantic now.
Yeah, okay.
Child might not have that.
No, the child looks at all the different parts of the temple. The child sees the pillars, sees the doors, sees all the decorations,
Right.
but isn't lost,
What do you mean by lost?
distracted.
Ying.
It's new to me. I don't know what to say.
Like I'm trying to...
Kungi kutsultes kensawdo. Ngamadam puchung hakang tongwa tabus dan kungi kutsujin tes menrado.
Unobstructed clarity without fixation, but everything's changing anyway.
Yeah?
So is that what the example means?
I don't know. Trying to fix out lost part. Make me lost. Means no distraction.
Yeah.
Lost in conceptualization.
So a child's looking at a temple, and I'm sitting here.
That part I understand. The lost part I do not understand.
I don't understand that. So let's say I'm meditating,
Okay. Yeah, better like that. Okay.
and there's a lot of things going on.
Right.
So I'm not getting distracted with all the things going on, all the things that I'm noticing,
Correct.
like a child looking at a temple.
But don't put together with the lost with a child. I don't know. the example is not lost. Example is just perceiving. So you put lost, then I have to think child, whether child lost or not lost is too much concept to me.
Okay.
But when you saying meditation, yes, perfect.
Okay.
So many things going on, you know, or you don't lost.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But the example of child is a perceiving, and ends there. Distract, not distract is not in this issue.
Okay.
Perceiving part.
Thanks.
Yeah. Next, Gary. Yeah.
Rinpoche, when you were talking about the sort of the way in which the fixation is working with phenomenon, you were using, or Adam used the word purification.
Purification.
That working with the fixation, that appearances, like purification of appearances.
Purification of fixation. Yeah.
Is there, when I hear that, it sort of brings to mind like sort of my bad practice habits of like wanting to, something comes in and I want to like push it out, like, you know, make it better, purify it.
Which one?
Anything.
No. Fixation, not anything. Push the fixation if you want, but not anything.
Well, that word purification. So when
purify the fixation, not the bliss.
what does it mean to purify? Because when I hear purification, I think
Means
action
liberated.
and
Means liberated, no more. No more. You're perceiving without fixation. That means the fixation is purified. Fixation is liberated. Fixation is gone. Means you're not fixing. Purify fixing means you're not fixing. Is another way of saying purified. Fancy word, but might not like it here. Those times, especially people who are practicing Yidam practice, they like the word purification. Oh God. Yeah, but it means you're not fixing. Means that gone. Fixation gone.
so it's less of an action of doing, more of an action of letting go.
Yeah, you can call, let it go also can. You like their words. I don't like that so much sometimes. When there's too much action, let it go. It's my problem, my banana.
Right.
My banana translate like that, your banana translate purified. So just look at the banana.
All right, thank you.
My Dzogchen point of view, when I say let it go, I use that, but there's nothing to let it go. Just be. But being might not like it, someone, because some banana might not like it.
So it's just a recognition.
What? Recognition of what?
The appearances, it's not doing anything about them. So it's just like a
No grasping. Recognize emptiness. Recognize simplicity. And then there's no grasping. But still perception happening within the simplicity. That's good enough. Simplicity, please come. Fine. Unpleasant come. Fine. You know. But you're not fixing. Because fixation purified. Purified it. Purified it. Not purifying. Because at that moment, it's already purified. I think you're thinking purifying.
yes.
No. Purified it.
Well, I'm trying to avoid purifying.
Yeah, no need. Then you are not purifying. It's already purified it. In that state.
Thank you.
I'm so happy I didn't went to school. I don't have any box of language, so.
Isn't the example of the child in a temple a example of liberation upon arising?
I don't remember.
In other words, the child is not fixating or focusing on anything. He's just absorbed with the display of it all.
I don't know how to put this into the liberation. Maybe some Lama do that. But to Torosum, Tawashinala, Pujulagan Tawa Peti Mindu. Inaya, Namjal Banyams, Limbe Capsula, Kapkal Yungre, or Pujulagan Tawashins, Zimbing Petavre, Salva Yovala, Zimbamega Pesha.
Saba Yobala, Simone.
Tawashinan did the petting at Naya with him.
Lasso.
Tawasumam, Tawashim,
Lasso. I don't remember exactly if it's correlated with a particular teachings on the 3 or the 4 types of liberation. It may not be in the traditional texts, but in experience, when a yogi's practicing, then a lot of, associations can happen. We can be practicing and be like, that's what it's like to be like a small child in a temple, and make the connection in our own experience. What I remember is that example is mainly an example for being vividly clear, but without fixation, without grasping.
Lagbartu, Zojendini, Gombe Kapsula, Re Hamagona degree, Sumor Pedre.
That's so.
Puri Majesere. Oh, the Hakona, Ranching Hakona, Kore. Hamagona, ya, Tanga, Gibson Dromaki, Kutanga Jeon, Gibson Dromakutan, Reden Hakodua, the name, Bala Doja Hakona, degrees, Nangcha Maga, some of the degrees. Nangcha Redegi, Jetaki, Ewa the Jegumare, or Zoshin Chachin Karagomna. Did so pedire. Peg to Ngomati, Purichin Ewa Hakoyona, Hakore. Hamagon and a sound Tapale, Kuruta, Tasani, Dojo, taken Nangcha Maga, Semingo Tomangala, Shashana. Then Nangcha Gana, then Yawamare. Then Nangcha Mangach, in a Nangcha Rere, Yawa Pesal Pochin, Lola Mashana, Chabayamare, singing Pereda.
That's so. In the Dzogchen system, or the Mahamudra system, I think the another meaning is that all the close, refined distinctions between every element of appearance doesn't need to be made. If one thing stands out, is really clear, if we naturally know something, that's fine. But otherwise, we can just leave it as an appearance, almost like a slightly blurry, the wholeness of appearance. We're not distinguishing between every little part. Just there's a vivid appearance happening. All kinds of distinctions are not being made, and grasping's not there.
Naturally happen, then happen. But no need to make it. But interesting thing is, with this, the natural distinction might happen also. Other Ramaji always live like this. Nyoji Khen Ramaji like that, but he knows everything. He live like this. Look like a little zombie. He just respect as a perception, but he don't go to detail. But detail comes to him, he don't mind. But he don't look for the detail. Details. But Adar Rinpoche, amazing, he stay on throne, he puja. Every single small mistake, he knows. Really. And then after teaching, he has to come and then he teach. Okay, it's not like that, it's not like that. He just said that. But amazing, every single movement, something little early, some drum, little, he know already. So scary. Okay, people who never ask any question, I'll give an opportunity. Okay. Yeah, and there. One here, one there.
Hello? Okay. I really didn't have a question, but something really like popped into my mind clearly as the last person was talking about the example of the small child. And the phrase that comes to mind is childlike wonder and a freshness that would happen with the perception. It comes and you can have the view that it is fresh, it is new. It's not already attached to, you know, if we're talking about this tanka and I say, oh my gosh, the snow lions are the best thing about it. And I go home and all I can think about is the snow lions instead of just the tanka itself, you know.
So what's the difference?
So the difference is...
What different than what he said, what I say?
Oh.
What's the question?
It wasn't a question,
No question?
but
Okay.
childlike wonder included in that.
Okay. Okay.
Is
It's okay, yeah. It's a nice word.
does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay, because that I resonate with that phrase, so that makes me understand it a little better.
But you're saying fresh. That's kind of fresh. As a yogi perception, you just see. I usually call raw perception. The same like what child look like. Just perceive the raw perception. And just perceive the pillar. But pillar is saying nothing to you. It's I'm pillar, that's it. And you're not saying nothing to pillar. Pillar is nothing saying to you. Between you and pillar understanding is pillar, I'm pillar, and you know, I know, you're pillar. That's it. I say, perceive the raw perception without narration. So if you can call that as fresh, then yes. Yeah?
The other day we spoke about the tendency that appears in the mind or mind essence that is the basis for the conceptual obscuration of non-duality. At the end of life, at the bardo, when there is the dissolution of cognition, there is the spontaneous appearance of mother luminosity.
Yes.
When life, when the direction again becomes a tendency to come back into human existence, again the apparitions or the appearances begin. So my question is this tendency that appears as the basis for non-dual obscuration related directly to the coming into human existence? In other words, is human existence the basis for that tendency, which arises with birth and disappears at bardo? Is that the basis for that tendency for the dualistic cognitions to form? I'm sorry if it's difficult to communicate this.
That's okay. Sounds like you're an educated man. Not joking. I know. Tendency there
Miki lusem gi shi shane ni nizin gi lo dan chatsa dilatene shachogre kine shar jine zo yankar jung dijaw
근데 다 가는 mig ludin 장발 샤요 마주 군시던도 샤고라.
Lasso.
군시 this semyoba.
Semchen chasa.
sem지 자산로 군시 요더라. 로와 레두키. sem진 군시 군시 semyoba 수요나 딜라 아니 롱마땡기차 셰바지오레 딜라 군시 남시 있으래. 디던도 바샤샤요레.
Lasso.
디 바샤데 밀라요스그레 돈돌라요스그레 라라라마이 로와르고 섬지 강라요 딕 텐데세디게 레게 텐데세디 아니 저와 가르레나 딜렌도 그래 이 미글던단 저와 장바 그 싱마레스
Lasso.
if I understand correctly then
Lasso.
we try this first.
Lasso. Not sure if this directly addresses your question, but you can give it a try. So it's not just the human body and mind that determine this. It's the alaya vijnana. It's the seeds or tendencies or imprints in the alaya vijnana which can lead to any kind of birth in any form in the 6 realms. And so the imprints are in the alaya vijnana, which is also called the, anyway, Nungmaten.
Yeah.
And that's
semyoba suyonayo.
any being that has a mind, any sentient being of any type, anywhere, kind of, is taking birth and experiencing reality based on the karmic seeds in the alaya vijnana. So it could be a human, could be an animal, could be a demigod, could be a god, could be any kind of being, anywhere. All of the births and perceptions that take place have their basis in karmic imprints in the alaya vijnana. That's the process. So it's not just a human thing.
대가나시바 로와르두기 sem진 탐제야 아니 랑랑은 명은 마도 아니 바도기 나와 자산지 요래 요래
Rangi.
랑라 문 버체투미도 away
Lasso.
랑라 살투미도 마도
Lasso.
탐제라 아니 체중마도 바도기 나와래 샤그래 소 로와르두기 sem진 소이나
Lasso. And furthermore, all of the beings of the 6 realms experience some kind of bardo, whether they're able to be aware of it or not, whether it's long or short. It may be unconscious or conscious, but all beings of the 6 realms experience some kind of bardo.
다 미다오제나 코로나바단시레 아니 남시 오살라팀 아니 치우치 나온네 비케지실라네 세 남시 오살라팀 남시데 낭발라팀 낭바 오살라팀 된 치우치로도 되게 제서 되는 아니 가이고 나와 제바 녀톱 되니 예 오살 샤르 시 오살자데 마들루미노스티 용거와 대값을 레지 가도래 텐데스 조도래 양 텐데스 용거래 내값질 가르마도
아하.
가르마도 조마레서 거래
아하.
각바도 조바니 그게 가라
아하.
so 원zo opportunity 가비 값을 opportunity 레는 상제기라고 그래 근데 opportunity 라사나 되니 양걸 레 가렌데 질도 알아
And in the case of human life, then it's similar to what you said. There's this dissolution that happens into luminosity at the end of our lifespan. The outer breath ceases, and then the inner experience is described as approach, increase, attainment, and so on. And then the blackness, and then the ground luminosity, which is also called the mother luminosity, dawns. And at that moment, it's like all karmic propulsion has stopped. But this is only a temporary gap. And a temporary ceasing is different than a total exhaustion. They're not totally exhausted. Our karma is not exhausted. It just momentarily has ceased. And in that gap, there's this opportunity. If we miss that opportunity, the propulsion of karma kicks back in, and then we have the continued experience in the bardo and beyond.
Make sense?
Yes, it does. Just if I can just check on it for a second. So the basically the seeds in the Elaya is the basis for the tendency,
Yes.
and human life and the incarnation is the basis for that tendency to reassert itself.
Correct.
As a non-dual confusion.
Non-dual.
Excuse me, a dualistic confusion.
Oh. Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
So the word tendency could be a tendency yo like ma tendency nan michewa len sangin chigi ani shila tendency yo
Sedigi. Habit of.
habit of jala ko kunshin nang la ko tendency that is tsigto no ko atari tabra na conscious.
It's a possibility that the word tendency could be a little tricky for us modern folk, because I think the connotation of the word tendency is usually like a habit we develop in this life. We're born, we're growing up, we develop a habit, and that becomes a tendency. The same word is used for these subtle imprints in the alaya vijnana, the storehouse consciousness, but the meaning is not, the meaning is a little different.
Meaning has the threat, but is a little different. Tendency. Okay. Now ask any questions so far in these both retreats.
Rinpoche, could you briefly comment on the last example, like a bird flying in the sky, resting without leaving a trace?
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. A little bit like music. English language music. Janangala population to Jimebra Shakos. That is Chipare. Tendijiki Saldong Zimijingala Shana. Teni Tinangla Namdo Nyomon Karishana Korang Rangrul Rangshar Tobeki Perez.
Rangrul Rangshar ki pe laso.
Rangla Shar, Rangla Trul, Pena Zoching Nala Pua. Shadul sing Chipare.
Shadow laso. Yeah, the example is quite similar meaning. If we rest in empty clarity without grasping, then whatever happens in experience can self-liberate, can liberate by itself. It rises by itself and it can liberate by itself. So this is actually similar to the liberation upon arising in the Dzogchen system.
Namdo Shanai, Ziba Mepal Tene, Namdogi, Jeshag Mare, Lesai Mare, Namdo, Nanoda Jamare, Nyomon Namdo Karishana, Nawachi Sharjang.
So if a thought arises and there's no grasping or fixation, then it can self-liberate.
Not only a thought, everything.
Emotion, perception, any part of experience.
Le maso pere.
It's an example of not accumulating karma.
Some other at the back?
Thank you. What is the difference between child luminosity and mother luminosity? How does that work?
Child luminosity. Gone Yawachena Lamjo was saying the Ribam Rajijibi Yishi, that's Sumamudua, Samji Nilo, Dilla Lamjo Salasagre. Didn't Lamjo Sadalam Puyo Salasagre.
Lasso, Tundachigwa.
Tonachibari, Lamjo Salasagre, Puyo Salasagre, Ripa Sagre, Samji Nilo Sagre, Taco, where Amatang Puke Shave Capsule till Puyo Salasagre. Sometimes Samjing O Shave Capsule, Samjo Salasagre. Nanzo the Nezu Shave Capsule, Nelu Shagre. And Joe Maju Shagosla, Maju Shagre. That contact diameter, the 16 Mambo Young Jim Zeteri. Gonzo Chumangojilla, Yobaltene, T, Latene, T, Carre said. Nanzo the Nezuninani, any Carresana, Nesu race. Then Topatan, Metopaginan Carres, Metopares. Trubatan Hini Carresan, Yishires. Jobata Majubati Carresana, Majubas. Nangsul the Nesul Carresana, Nesul race. That the minimum Yongdua, Kanji. Go, Daman and Suyong. The end Amadan Pukashana, till a Puyos race.
Chatsan.
The Chazan. All of that. Then the Lamjo Secretary, the Lamji Capsulata, Sanji Maso. Lamji Capsula Ngoshetala, Lamjo Secretary. The Ripare, Chunire, Nelore, the Kangateri, Tachipare, the end Lamjo Sals, the Puyo Sals. Then the Chitove Capsule, La, Ye was a Shargare, Parto Tambushi was a Della Amas Mintasha. Maya was also.
So actually, child luminosity is a synonym for luminosity of the path, or path luminosity. And this refers to, it's a synonym also for all these different terms: Rigpa, co-emergent wisdom, underlying nature, underlying reality. All of these are referring to the path luminosity or the child luminosity. And there's a lot of distinctions, and this is connected to those. So like the distinction between mind and mind essence. This is talking about mind essence. The distinction between the way things appear and how they actually are. This is how they actually are. The distinction between contrived and uncontrived. This is the uncontrived. Confusion and recognition. This is recognition. So all of these are connected to the path luminosity or the child luminosity. And that means that they're the luminosity we can experience while on the path, because we're not Buddhas yet. And so they're the luminosity that's available during the path. Then, when we die, there's this bardo, there's this moment where the ground luminosity nakedly happens. And that's called the mother, or mother luminosity. It's a name that's given to it.
Child the ngoshena amadu korang amaro mata paranje parametero unik mata parameter tatangaso togyo mare tatangaso karim karishena je hosal da tongyo mare lamjo hosal rangre je hosal te kajo tongor sana yana chechik tota roji gome tartubal gome chembo kapsala tongsegre yana 주님 것좀 냠 고벌 리버스베 주님 세베 탈라 토스그레 야나 아니 바도 당보 예워설 샤르베 가즈만 다다 람조설만 예워서 연거 말해.
So that's like it's described as a child recognizing the mother, mother being mother Prajnaparamita, the mother.
Real mother Prajnaparamita reveals at that time, without any arm.
But that mother luminosity is not, normally we don't experience it when we're on the path. We can't directly experience the real mother Prajnaparamita while on the path. Unless we traverse the path all the way to the end. So in the Mahamudra system we talk about, one-pointedness, simplicity, one taste, and non-meditation. So if we make it to the
고밀라 고미 젠딩 첨부 고미 첨부 들어서
and also within these, we have, the beginning phase, the middle, and then the conclusion. So we have early non-meditation, middle non-meditation, and then the ultimate conclusion of non-meditation. And only at that
numbers, Mahamudra has a lot of numbers. Mahamudra has learned a lot of good mathematics.
only at that final 12th stage of the conclusion of non-meditation is it possible to directly see the mother, Prajnaparamita, or in the Dzogchen system in a similar way with the 4 visions. Only by reaching the conclusion of the 4th vision, the exhaustion of concepts and phenomena, can we directly see the mother luminosity. Or when we die in that moment of the bardo when the ground luminosity actually dawns. Those are the 3 experiences where we can directly encounter the ground luminosity or the mother. Otherwise, all of our experiences are called path luminosity.
가르에서는 밭들라 아니 민비 레기 드드요래 레민 상에게 나와줘라 르디 레기 데볼 때는 샤라고라 되게 드버드요 르기 드드요라.
That's so. Because while we're still on the path, we still have to deal with the ripened karma. So for example, our body is a fully ripened effect of past karma, and we still have that body while we're on the path. So the body, for example, obscures our ability to directly see the mother.
But child, 뭐시 또 그래?
But we can recognize the child.
Yeah. 1, 2.
So, Rinpoche, my question is how we actually train with these 6 methods. Are they regarded as sequential so that there's a progression in practice and understanding? And could you please explain, if that's the case, what the progression actually is?
You want more progression?
Well, I'm just asking, is this just like we could train haphazardly in one and then the other, or are we supposed to start with the first?
All of them together.
All of them at once?
Yeah.
Well, it says here, train in these 6 methods one by one.
Then follow that. Yeah, you're testing me. No, it says like that, I will do all one at the same time.
You will do all
Yeah.
at the same time.
Same time. Then same time kausala kashi yong kashi mayong then adjust chena. Oh salwa mayong na salwa yong wa che. Ani tisu kanga adjust jare mado separate practice gai mare. Nyamsha chig dangla twin chig nala de kapata suta te jare mado chig je ta sarso. Yang je sa kusa kanga related ro. Then 그런 송대로 송도 이나 데 쪼데 냠뇽 등라 가래 he also says 녜시 강제라 윤생 송도 그 근데 녜시 가래제는 데때 윤생 근데 양 대행강에 셔버데 때 adjust
it's like in our practice, in our equipoise, all these elements are there and we can sort of look at them and make adjustments as necessary. So we sort of try to practice them all at the same time, but then we examine our experience, and if something's missing, then we can adjust and include that element. It's a little bit more like that. It's not so much that, first we do the Garuda, then we stop doing the Garuda, then we do the ocean, and then we... It's not so much like that. They're all elements of experience that need to be present in our equipoise. And so there are ways for us to examine our equipoise and see how it is. Because it also says, until confidence arises, then extend the duration.
Until sen 말이들.
Oh,
니시 강제라 윤생.
it doesn't really say until. It says in whatever confidence arises, extend the duration.
Until sen 가리는 하모.
Well, in English it says until. Not disputing that. Tapu kinang yomarawa.
나
Nishi kang
제라
kela.
니시 가르지 오나. 된데면도 두분하는 니시 가르지 온 가시.
Di ani druk pe drukwa denzoni. Semgin hilukla nishi kang kela. Des gom nyamlen yunsing yamena.
말. 에? 코. 연구 그 그런 게 야답을 때는 그런 거 연대를 찍으러.
Jaktabla deni yunchen re la ke.
나 요걸 매비게 연대. 잠술랍단다고 연대. 이만튼단다고 연대. 보존하간다고 연대.
나스.
jonsul 탐지 센스시에 연대. 자칼라 보러와나니 제메베 연대.
나스나.
대조다. 데네 검드 데네 샤베 값을라. 저거도 샤답으로.
Jaktab.
중진 남과된 와서 샤. 잠술랍단다고 왔다고 샤. 니만튼단다고 왔다고 샤. 보존하간다고 왔다고 샤. 잠술랍 내 중화신도 시야 샤. 자낭바다 풀어왔다고 샤. 이 샤베 값을라. 다 닝에시데 코랑코랑 가래 샤와들 베나 중진 당바 풀어왔다고 샤베 값을 솔주 매빙이시 제그러와. 잠술랍단 타왔다고 값을 요글 매빙이. 템포 제그러와. 니마탄난 타왔다고 살마르 템비기 연된 제그러와. 보존 사강 타와신도 살참 망갈은 좀 매비 연된 제그러와. 잠술랍단 타와 잡으셔도 중설 탐지 샘스셰비 연된 제그러와.
나스나.
어디서?
Chetsa gyurdu
다들 고할 랭거로 만도 그 그런 걸 드네 이 제그레스 망고 라요 말아.
lasso.
바트리.
Lasso.
저거자고 좀 센데라와.
Rela.
강가 쓸 대화자는데 배자 망고 차이로.
Rela.
냠냠냠냠도 차이로.
Lasso. So Rinpoche said, don't worry so much about the words. Focus on the oral instruction. That's where we'll get clarity on our practice. There's a lot of texts and countless words, and we can get lost in them. That's why we need them to be explained to us. So, and there, I can also add, in addition, there may be errors in the translation, which are not Rinpoche's fault.
Really?
But some other lama's fault. Named Sangsartoku. No. I'm joking. But what Rinpoche explained the meaning as is the words here are sort of like it says, but he says it's more like when it says confidence arises, it means confidence in the particular qualities of each example. So we rest like a great Garuda until confidence arises in being uncontrived and effortless. There's a certain kind of confidence in that. So then similarly, in the example of the ocean, we're looking for the confidence in being unwavering, in not moving. And then similarly, with the small child example, we're looking for the confidence of being completely clear and without grasping. With the sun and the clouds, we're looking for the confidence of being radiant and illuminating regardless of whether there's clouds or not. And then with the ripples on the river, the confidence that perception and feeling are mind while we're resting in equipoise. And similarly, like the bird in the sky example, the confidence that our experience or thoughts and so on are not leaving a trace in the mind. So
니니니니 고르다. 샤답저다. 샤답들레 땜비 연된지 찍으라.
So there's two things. Each one, the image or the example of how to rest, and then the qualities that come or are associated with that. So each one has two dimensions, a metaphor and a resultant quality.
강가 탐지 샤답레. 곰서는 샤답레 송도 가상. 다이들.
But all of them are ways to rest, and the essence of meditation is resting.
네. 니바섬지 샤답 땜바니 서라고. 다 샤고라 샤답 땜바니. 다 중진다 보샤 잠술랍단 트라바다 보샤 니마트난 트라바다 보샤 보글 나가다 와 잠수주난 트라바다 보샤 남바샤 프로보샤나 샤 세월다.
So they're all methods of resting the mind. This is the section,
body and
the mind. So this is displaying the methods of resting the mind. So they're methods to rest the body and the mind. Each one, the Garuda, the ocean, the sun, the child, the river, and the bird.
Yeah? So which one you like to rest first? Garuda? Here is the Garuda. Child Garuda.
자, 아니 이결거래 교감하래. nga bardo do chi
la
nga injitone ngeshe ma kege bardo do gyuri
mare ngeshe kangjira yunsens whatever ngeshe arise and continue that.
Okay. 아니
ngeshe tunana kan je
rimba신도 lamne 아니 ngeshe kan kela yunsings chetsanga des rimba신도 장네 아니 ngeshe gidwa watchsuyin ti pichi correct.
두분들라 림지 랍라.
Maybe we can adjust the translation.
ngeshe kangjila yunsings.
Maybe like instead of when it says
강제
rimba신도량
rimba신도 랍las is I think one chapter.
sauce.
rimba신도
Yeah.
랍s.
So maybe
ngeshe 강제las
yunsings.
ngeshe 찍la 찍 그림들이 인 당부되지 니바되지 숨바되지 되라고 이면도
나서 냠용기 기토네 나서
야바하고 모두
나서
얘들아 ngeshe디
pichi. Maybe we can adjust the translation.
ngeshe 강제las rimba신 당부 니바 찍으려고 그래. 두 번 안에 강하로 같이 쨌네. 들어 윤승라고 그래. 들어. 갈라고서.
Ngadi ani rimba신도 labgos ani ngeshe makege bardo ra labgos tene yunsing strabo diking agiri.
There do.
Naso. Or maybe not.
This we don't know.
Leave
You
it
don't
as
know, I don't know.
as a blur.
Yeah.
You can leave it a bit blurry. You can strike out the word until if you want, or you can leave it. The text can be read in different ways. So, just
That 샤답 당보 그냥 충전 남바된 거다고 샤워 값을 부정하는다고 냠네 영화다 용식이라.
right.
이제
가가
근데 용 말좀 냠용되는 데는 용 말아.
그래서
부정하는 yes 셔바도 용나에 까쇼스. 부정하는 맞지 받을라 저 셔바들 만들어서 되는다 근데나.
That's in any case, the meaning, if we're practicing resting like a great Garuda, the experience of a small child might happen at that time. So we shouldn't probably be like, okay, now I'm a small child, and all the other examples are not allowed to happen right now. I'm just a small child until I gain total confidence in the small child. That's maybe too much. the experiences can happen at the same time.
Chiki duzu da song doa. Chupula.
Chiki du da nyongi du.
Dene na ko samare. Chiki kapsula rembe ma jangs. Gomdu ngeshi gangji la yunse.
Ah, lasa.
Dena
Lasa.
Sazar ula bana.
Lasa.
He has a solution.
Oh, lasa. Sansar Toko has a solution. So maybe.
Dene mangbo yore chiki kapsi jes. Yang dene kapsi jes song yore.
Oh. Oh, lasa. Piche tijin sara. So we can perhaps suggest it.
Chiji tu sus.
So then, at the time of instruction, train in these 6 methods one by one, period. No comma. And then strike out the until. In whichever confidence arises, comma, extend the duration. So just...
Good job.
Oh, this didn't yaga.
Yeah.
So then, train in these 6 methods one by one, period. In whichever, strike out the until. In whichever confidence arises, then extend the duration.
Rani chiki du sen tamido. Kasangama ngadre tenso chiki du sen.
Bishay said when we were looking at the text that when it says at the time of instruction, that's
we didn't look at that.
The hint. We didn't think about that. It means when at the time of instruction, learn the 6 methods properly, but then during practice, in whichever confidence arises, extend the duration. We can understand like that.
Good question. Okay, I think we stop here. When the good things happen, must stop. Oh, wait. Little bit of lung. I set up. 장살와단 주진 저바단 제조에는 꾸준 소인 그원준서 다그 저바단 주조배 장주진 부릉어 이마오 상제랑신 전대 야라죄다 진부르네 배지가 상완데 나라나 여도 동부 상제네 동부 오바 전바고 사자랑데 콜로네 실업법에 제바라제 지금 어제 동물을 준 데드 차지 dunjuye sajandene damba oning jembe galabal tena damba sanje gon ngamse chaja golo le konen zaba jawa sajandene damba ojime damba baro gon jengoro nyengbo rang drebe kabasaje yegela sayruge jajero so gondo damba ba gum sajang ni nawe kalba osran jebal dambam jene rewo jden ro gombo ye chu chal sajande drebe Komadon Zabala, the Medoja, Yelebe, Setane, Dambo, Nimbo, Jibu, Nimbo, Golo, was a Nimbo, Nimbo, then Dambo, Samjim, Nimbo, Ranga, Kawana, Dramina, Dramala, Tempun Dongi, Chajarazon, Zebe, Wangbo, Zebe, Tambun, Goyanimbo, Namju, Kalaba, Ragway, and Lala, Nyer. Jai Tangjin, Sajadane, Damba, Tuzi, Ningbo, Yentu, Gon, Shaja, Yanda, Lamdre, Kabadong, Tang, Jui, Dambro, Nipam Sangma, Datal, Gon, Yanda, Nebi, Julene, Kalbada, Sala, Tongshur, Dunji, Jalamzo, Lamjelzo, Ningbo, Semnal, Tuzim, Gon, Nebi, Sabon, Rabdabe, Kalba, Zambe, Yanjala, Burudun dunye brazoran jenta baden zen saja ngolo de gona vejadal saja goye dam brazon zam saja me goya zam nam de ko mare de la yo ro jo ni bo de wa su be go la me ning bo yong zhe kalpar yang sa ram jam la thare se wa gu jai ana me be so wa ji den thoma she ram go de chin ning bo用着对高高班全部了，我们这出去在也来你的你多像我那么几多嘛个那边这边这高班人全部完，三阳周军广播员这帮人搞的那么多人杨姐就嘛没人管我们就是人家呢，你们都这帮来高班都有没了。还在军广播员，因为你给他们说场面都这面公三千个把你的那高班有这完了这帮个的。당고 제도니 아니도니 전반 점에 삼등은 의외 선생 거 같으면 내년으로 숨겨져 봐야 되는 뭐 다음에 주진고 선제저서 저거 도와서 와서 담배 차네 암도 지표 동계 예동거 가지 자원된 거 동계 뭐 이런 동계 동계 나와서 선제저 찾아니 또 동소에 가와지 왜닝몰라 냐라는 동생 왜닝은 정말 배면이 오양소자발란 동계 연별반데네 냐야는 재매도 전시에 당보라서 내가 예보라면 좀 드메고에 상황에서 상신 동계 담바로 바라왜 냐라 왜닝은 배배가 용조는 연재매 동사회 면도 용서 콜로를 제거서 용어 담서바 갈발라나 매바인 트다 주전동들 선지 콜로니 돈이 제마다 봐 추진고 양상의龙들 가바서바랑 조를 냐닐 니제베 동계 명고 바라 주베 양상 당보 토맘권 도저 양다람서 주전도 본당가인 동발에서 자르니 도 노상보 말면고 라면 도르지 닝부츠 갈반 다이 거서 나 몸녀 동서 그대냠 제사도서 영보용고 사정을 저거 버려 놓잖아. 공부를 사자한단 말을 보고 직상 너무 가봐 전선 잘와라 야율동 동펠반 듣군 쩐단 잘버로 다고 자르는데 왜고 셔머니 사자 가봐 나와라 동서로 연동 왜 남제 너무 추고 또 매매고 무슨 전용 버려 어서제 너무 말아 사와니 제 동펠반 대공양산이 도가는 제버런 저것을 너무 용모르고 저걸 저거를 넘벨바 벨람제 담마로 똥반이네 게든 거는 상상산 제버저 kalba 빼만 썩발라 가영나이 dum벨베 너무 저왜 뭐 저런 거는 뭐저 공감에 연쟁란 두드디엔 dum벨베 그 뭐랑도 셔럽 미니 저거 섬이 도메 증거를 고동을 저런 냐는 돈전 돈서원 이라도 나와 대화담 방고 주고 선생님을 좀 kalba 연라 매발라 상세로게 동벨베도 나마르고 도메고냐 나로 상제로 고랑다 로발라 도고주란 zembe 동상진이도 쉬라고니 메고양 상가랑 좀 직도 깔바 용수 조세바니 일본은 냠바라는 니도 왜는 저에 되면고 저는 이거 저 걸와서 그 저로 저리도 진도 벌베데 그 담배 좀도 내품 당부 상진고 노도 고던 거 년여레 돈주로 세던 그 동게 나니 메메랑 담도 전방원 파란신고 좀 엔다던 저거 너무라요. 뭐라면 저는 용보서 보면 이제 vengo도 저는 어떤게랑 저는 돈이랑 저런 대근은 아버지 생각 보면 그냥 여러서 뭐죠 발란 대근 hin게 질도 봐 대근 그녀도 받아 선지다 vengo도 그냥 kalba phameran dolla chajul goyen go wayen de no maroni de mo jinga go janga mo ko barang sa bal sayani jin dong bal de zana jura jumda thomani me goyen de zin bal ma de go men no bal bum tha ngayen dong bal be nim bo dam jin do be do no me go na me be na go go tha de tang go ye dong bal be de go sa so ta ro so so no kalba sa ba so no go ye dong bal be me 메시지 조버에 안다 종에 조던 원주만 고양 상한 바로 것을 쭉 갈라바라도 바로 다른 진동 발변되니 내외서 좀 참 뭐던데 웬건데니 람잘 담바트 갈바 양상 전부라 다른도 진동 발변 제가 뭐 담보주 두번 남지 도망고 내외서 저랑 와서 갈바서로 담발 양발 구친 공부인데 그 상진이 또 파워 양지 동계 당보건 사회 행보 양상주 kalbalelo yedala terzo gu dongpalwe de yang ning de sang waran pa ba sa kunje ngon to ngon saja ningi chiltu tru kalban chemi sangbo la nyar nga yin dong balben de ze la me ning la pap tombe ya dang bo nang wa go yang de ran zo ze de ru ka ba yang da je bo la nge nge be be de ni zang de ngo lo zong dong yin be yang zo je bo de go yang be ran zo ze zo ba ngo da ka ba lang bam rang go yung be de go me re ba dang bo sang ze ngo go ne de go sa me da ba ka ba 장달라 산지라 카일 숨제 동벌벤데 고양 상랑지라서 테메랑제 아라죠 고양 좀 자바르 까바마 칼반 몸신 준출라 타르르자예 동벌베 사와 양존데 버서 메정 여 당보고니 메난제 그러면서 범랑아예 양동게 좀 삼지 군지 집인 거예요. 남행원도 찾자주 깔방하면 똥된라. 저 고연동 별랑에 군지 통마런송 삼는 군지 담고 찾자입니다. 똥도 저 까반지만 항제 라예로 숨제 양동게 쓰대 고매송 remember 이제 그래서 라서 이제 매자로 깔방이 이제 군들라 상제가 연동 벌번이 고상와 집으로서 이제 군들라 생경곤 상제 세네직 바드 깔바상보 라비앙 라모는 좀 벌번 좀 저는 저서 좀 건드냐 지게 날도 좀 깔바서된 농보랑 수정거리는 별은 색된 사람으로서 잡았어요. 이시고 닝보랑 색직 벌고 깔바서던 데 말람 주는 거요 동전 방에 사자 넘어서 그는 저 매나 선전에 지금 랑손 전부 이거네 내가 다 뭐라 밥래 내고랑 좋아 전화를 반대 양군 Thomas Bible around then no 산지 산지의 주 조신의 주 아니 자신부지레스 아니 디탁돌레스 아니 주고지는 뭐 제가 답반디 송그레스 니 말이래 되니 디탁돌스나 따야 작라 요래 양 바르도 블랭켓 올라그래 말레시아 딘 블랭켓스 요래 다르졸타나 디그래 딘도 강제 주되게 아니 조신이 주 토마라고 그래서
통마라. 당보라고.
당보라고 인사다.
So this particular tantra, which is the single child of all the victorious ones, or single child of the Buddhas, is a very important Dzogchen tantra that possesses the quality of what's called takdrol, which means liberation upon touching. And so it's often worn as a pendant over the heart chakra. Sometimes it's included in a blanket, bardo blanket. Sometimes yogis tie it into their top knot.
One book here, small. About this big. Really? Or sometimes they roll into the something and then they wear here.
Sometimes they include it in the bardo blanket in Taiwan, where they cover the body with. You can also turn it into a prayer flag. It's used sometimes for prayer flags. So it's a very kind of core, perhaps the first Dzogchen Tantra. I received this long transmission from Tuku Urgyen Rinpoche.
So I'm reading this to you. Someone requested. So why not everyone get it? It's become easier job to me in the future. One by one, no need one time, finish.
Rinpoche,
oh yeah, okay.
Just for today's dedication, there was 2 requests. Today is Bill Scheffel's 49th day.
Oh.
The other one was a woman named Barbara Buchanan passed this morning.
Yeah, keep in your prayer and dedication. Sanam de damje zubani ane nyebe bamje jegana chi bala rubai seben zole roa roa jo. Chanju semjo rinpoche, maje banan je juronje, je va nyamba me vaya, kone kondo me vayo. Toni tawa rinpoche, maje banan je juronje, je va nyamba me vaya, kone kondo me vayo. Chöpa seme rinpoche, maje panam je gyoroche, je va nyamba me baya, kone kondo me vayo. Page 5. Kanre rave korve shingande, pendang dewa malun jungwe ne, ere zewa tenzin jazo ye, jabe zinde barat denjuro ye. Jargun tuje shen chen du zo, mei zhong chen yin chen lao chogen de, so ni jang zi sha be da ten so, da jun chen lao gui ji wen ju shu. Rama Yama Kama Oma Ahom Oma Ahom Oma Ahom Gada Reda Dawale Rewa Vasandorje Yudama Reda Game Koroje Zodanje Solon Jodon Yishin Yishin Gada Judan Dawale Rikpa Vesan Raje Yudama Redan Kame Koroje Zodanje Solon Judan Yishin Yishin Gada Judan Dawale Rigwa Sandorje Yunama Rezai Kame Koroje Zodanje Solon Jodon Dodon Ejendo in primary purity. Don't wander.
Don't wander. Place mindfulness on guard. Along the road of distraction, Mara lies in ambush. Mara is the mind clinging to like and dislike. So look into the essence of this magic, free from dualistic fixation. Once your originally pure, uncontrived mind is revealed, there is no Buddha elsewhere. Use your own face. There is nothing else to search for. Rest in your own place. Non-meditation is spontaneous perfection. So capture the royal seat.
That's it. Capture the royal seat. Okay, so please, both here and also on online practitioners, please follow the schedule and silence. And this is the time, I think, you are dedicated to come practice. So don't miss it. Don't miss this opportunity. Of course, there's opportunity might arise, but when you are in your plate, you must hold on and do it. You can chart in the future. You can do after this retreat on the 1st of September. But now, follow the schedule and practice diligently, but without tight. Pushed, but relaxed. Chop the lazy, but the kind to subtle body. Chop the lazy. You don't like that word, yeah? Cut the lazy. Destroy the lazy. And nurture the subtle body relaxation. You know, some lazy is not banana. So you can do a little bit like, never mind, I do it. You did 100 position, never mind, do one, another 100, 200. So, lazy scared. But some lazy is from banana, then you say, hi honey, lazy, would you like to have a cup of coffee? And why don't you rest in my bedroom while I'm doing prostration? Shall I on TV for you? Or coconut juice? Okay, thank you. Lazy one. And while then you prostrate. There's two kinds of laziness. Thank you.
Just a short announcement. After Rinpoche leaves, there's an optional session to learn a new melody for the Calling the Lama from Afar. But if you want to go, please go.
And if you need to go to the bathroom, please pee without fixation and come back quickly.